What's your feeling on Thunder basketball coming into the season?
Well,
it's been a weird year, right?
Yeah, and this was always going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Like, we've been living a fairy tale.
Yes.
The fact that Thunder have the second best record since 2009 in the entire NBA and little old Oklahoma City, I don't think people really grasp that. I think a lot of people realize we're probably not going to have a Kevin Durant, a Russell Westbrook, and a James Harden on the same team. I mean, it's 3 Hall of Famers, 3 MVPs. That's not doable. But what is doable, and the only way the Thunder are going to get back to being the best team in the Western Conference, or one of the best teams, is through the draft, because they're never going to get free agent talent. Yeah. They never have. And the key is they're doing like a supercharged rebuild. Like, it's an unprecedented amount of first-round picks they have. The lottery didn't go their way, but they have so many picks that it almost, won't matter. Like, they can trade up to like the second or third pick if they want to. It's a matter of what are they willing to give up. So I just think Sam Presti knows what he's doing. The trades this guy pulls off should be like vetoed by the league. Like, the one that people forget about that no one ever remembers is the Tyson Chandler trade. We never would have had Kendrick Perkins here because he traded Joe Smith, Chris Wilcox, and the rights to Devin Harden for Tyson Chandler, who they for some reason flagged his foot and the trade didn't go through. He wins the title like a year or two later with the Mavs. Yeah. Like, no one, that trade should get turned down by the league. It's such a great trade for Oklahoma City. So I'm confident he'll draft good players. Mm-hmm. We've seen even when, he goes against convention too. Like, no one thought Russell Westbrook was the 4th best player in the draft. No one thought everyone thought Harden at 3 was a reach. So I even at picking at 6, he might end up with the best guy in the draft just because he's so much better than the rest of the GMs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad GMs picking in front of him.
Well, which is good for him, right? Because I didn't grow up watching basketball. I didn't really grow up knowing. I knew who Michael Jordan was, but I didn't know how good he was until, thankfully, this new documentary came out, right? And you see like how amazing he is, but mentioned GMs, so you mentioned like Krause, and like they hated him, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just all this stuff that goes on, and it seems like Presti's really, loved in by many and for many reasons.
Well, and the thing that's most impressive about him, obviously, all the picks he's made are great, and I would put his resume against any GM picking wise. People poke holes in the guys he's picked. Some haven't worked out, but you can do that with any GM, right. And I guarantee his hit percentage is way higher than anyone else. Yeah. But the thing I like about Sam, and I don't know him, he's kind of an enigma. He's keeps things very close to the vest, very secretive. A lot of the way the Thunder do things are his method. Yeah. One thing that I'm so impressed with is he's basically become an Oklahoman. Mm-hmm. And the first thing he does is take anyone who's acquired, any player, it doesn't matter if they're going to be a G League player, he takes them to the memorial and shows them around and teaches them about Oklahoma and what makes the people here the way they are. And all the philanthropy efforts, the Thunder go way above and beyond the standard that teams are held to for the NBA Cares initiative, where they're required to do a certain amount of community service. But the Thunder go above and beyond. It's remarkable, all the work they do in the community. And that, to me, I think, goes unnoticed a lot. I think that'll be probably what Sam's remembered for most here, is just how a guy from Massachusetts became an Oklahoman and led this franchise to like just an unheard of level of success right away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done a podcast with the ladies down at Thunder Cares, and you're right, it's incredible the stuff that they do and stuff they're consistently doing, and
building basketball courts and rundown communities that don't have one. Right. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, like shopping sprees during the holidays for families that can't afford it. It's just, and I've covered a lot of those events, and it really is eye-opening, just the impact a professional sports franchise has had on our community, and it really has. I think anyone that's been affected by that probably think about that more than any playoff win,
Yeah.